Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome to another live with Esoteric Liminal Horizons. We'll wait for everybody else to join. Pull up so we can read comments as they come in.
Where is it? Oh, there it is. All right. And I'm in.
Ooh, I'm in too.
But that's really smart. I should do that with my tablet.
And now, this time, hopefully, we will see the comments.
Yeah.
We are ready. Oh, look at that. Hey, Nikki. Hello, Bailey. Crystal's here. All right. So today we are celebrating spring around the world, and today we are touching on Asia. So Asia consists of somewhere between 48 and 51 countries.
It's huge. Including Russia, you said?
Including Russia.
I can't believe Russia is a part of Asia. I mean, I know, logically speaking, how it is, but it still blows my mind because I feel like Russia is like its own.
I know, right? So that's where that's where the fluctuation comes in, because some people consider themselves independent and they are not maybe a part of Asia. I don't know. That was the iffy thing. Yeah, there was some gray area. So it consists of somewhere between 48 and 51 countries and 3 territories. It spans across 3 territories.
That's crazy.
And yeah, so we've got them split into East Asia, South Asia, Southeast Asia, Central Asia, and West Asia.
But we're only going to hit on like 2 of those because that's a lot of different areas to go over. Or did you get it all?
I've got East Asia and South Asia.
Yep, and I piggybacked off of her notes and a little bit of looking into stuff myself. So.
It was a lot. I mean, picking different, because it's so big, there's a lot of different celebrations.
Which is really cool when you think about it. So.
We could go further into it, but, we want to touch on everything a little bit around the world. If we have time, we'll go a little bit further into some of the extra places, but we'll see where it leads us.
It might even just be an inspirational spark for somebody else to go do their research and find the things.
Could be that too.
You never know.
Can everyone hear us okay? Our microphones are going great.
I know, I especially don't feel like I can talk as loud today. Should I turn off that air conditioner?
That's what sparked me asking it.
We're just going to do the things.
Ooh, look at me on my laptop. How does it pop up? I don't know if they're going to pop up at the same time. Oh, how come they're popping up on yours? See, they're not popping up on my laptop.
They're not popping up on my phone.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Tap that little button that says so-and-so is watching with you.
Where?
I don't know. It was just something that it said, and then... Oh, no, these are just the comments, so this doesn't even tell me who's watching. It's just the comments.
Yeah, but I can't see the comments on here.
You can't see it? Well, yeah, yours are off to the side right there. Yeah? No.
Everyone hear us okay? And yours pops up? See, we're just going to have to keep feeling it out.
We'll figure it out. We'll work out the kinks eventually. I bet you... And then it'll just like randomly halfway through the thing show up, start showing you all the comments. There's got to be a button.
Live chat. There is no live. If nobody else is popping up.
Shoot, I don't know, man.
Okay, well then that just means I can put it away, and now it's out of the way. Look at all that extra room.
Olay.
You can't see it, but I can feel it. Anyways, we can be heard just fine. So we're gonna step into East Asia first. When you think of Asia, what do you think of? Obviously not Russia.
I mean, I will be as stereotypical as it sounds. China, Japan, Taiwan, Vietnam. Like, I didn't realize that India was tied into
I know,
Asia.
right?
I mean,
we
I'm
went
thinking
back
like
to school, guys.
even back at the even like thinking back to the Risk board, India was it? It was. I think it was in the Asian territories on the Risk board even.
Oh wow!
I know.
I didn't even play Risk that much. I only play Risk because I'm married to somebody who likes to play Risk.
I love to play Risk, but my mom banned it from the house because it caused too much contention in the home. I played it on my
Games
phone.
of Risk, man. They can get really long. Depending on how cutthroat you want to be. You can learn your geography.
I mean,
from Risk.
Yeah.
If you remember it, or if you play it enough.
I wonder if Risk is like done in the same style, or if they've so you have the original board
like
with
how
the
many
original
extra
layout.
Variations there are.
Yeah, well, not even variations.
I can't think of any different variations of Risk.
Well, I mean, you could go really outlandish with it. You could do like space exploration, and you just have different territories you're taking over.
Middle Earth.
I've done a Middle Earth Risk. It's a lot of fun. It's the bee's knees, to be honest.
I haven't seen that. I guess I don't go looking for different variations.
But I was thinking more along the lines of it's like the original Risk and the map set up for the original Risk versus like a today's Risk and their map of the United States of all the other territories, and how is it split up and how is it named? Because like things change as we progress through our lives, right? So
yeah, apparently because there's a 48 to 51 countries that are inside Asia.
Yeah.
It's changed, obviously, over the years. So my information goes from 2021, and then I don't know where I got the 51 from. My last little bits of looking. Anyways, what do you think of when you think of spring in Asia? Because I think of cherry blossoms.
Yeah, I see vibrant colors, tall grass, long shoots of bamboo.
Yeah, pink colors. Usually pink, light blue.
I see like a bunch of vibrant shades of green. Across
the whole of Asia, there were mentions of peach blossoms. Oh my gosh, there's 3 of them. Peach blossoms, cherry blossoms.
Apricot blossoms.
Probably.
You think?
Probably.
Maybe.
That sounds familiar.
Does it? I'm gonna look.
But anyways, in Japan, cherry blossoms are called sakura, and they symbolize the fragile nature of life itself. So the cherry blossoms will fall off gently with a gust of wind. If you have had cherry trees near you, you know how softly the wind can blow and get the petals to fall off. So,
I don't know how to word that question right. It'd take forever to find it. What were you looking for again? I just wanted to see if I could find the third cherry blossom or the third blossom tree you were talking about, and
rabbit hole.
Yeah, I had to think too hard about how to reword it. Could have been easy, but I didn't word it right the first time, so it's just gone. Sorry. Anyway, Juan.
But flower watching has its own name, and it is a celebrated tradition during springtime in Japan. It is called hanami. It's flower viewing.
That would take a level of patience from me that I would have to look at it as a cultivation exercise. There's no way I could just view flowers for the sake of viewing.
Cherry blossoms are a well-known symbol, like in lots of anime, in the philosophy itself. They're referenced.
Yeah.
Quite often.
Very American.
So I don't know, I think of sitting and being in the moment. So part of being in the moment would be sitting with a cherry tree and watching the flower petals fall.
I could watch flower petals fall. I couldn't watch them grow, but I could watch them fall.
Man. Even in like, oh my gosh. Disney Princess. What is the movie? Mulan. Sitting the cherry trees and the petals falling off. The sense of serenity that it brings, the idea of peace, the
greatest gift in honor is having you.
The celebrated moments are under.
Look at this cherry blossom.
Love. Yeah, transients and beauty, the flower of life.
Creation.
So in China, which is part of East Asia, the spring festival there is the Chinese New Year. And it is celebrated on the eve of the Lunar New Year. And it lasts for 15 days.
What day
15 freaking days.
Do you know what day that normally falls on? I know it's different every time because your lunar year is like.
I could have looked up what it was this last 2025. You got your phone out. You could do it.
What am I looking at?
Chinese New Year 2025.
When was
Eve of the Lunar New Year? It's in February.
January 29th
Ooh,
through Wednesday,
Chinese
February
New Year.
12th.
Okay, so end of January, beginning of February. Lasts for 15 days.
That's an intense celebration. I wonder how expensive that gets. Depending on how you celebrate it. Like, you've got 15 days to that. Well, I guess.
It is the biggest celebration in China. It is like the most well-known spring festival because there are like a plethora of spring festivals that goes through. It starts with the Chinese New Year, and then there's several other festivals, and then a couple other festivals, and then you have like 3 more festivals in March, and then moving into May is like the end of spring, beginning of summer.
Right.
But my goodness, there are lots of different celebrations as the seasons change. Yeah. 15 days. And the 15th day is the Lantern Festival. That is the end of the Chinese New Year. And people travel across China to visit hometowns and loved ones and families. It is the largest annual migration. It's also known as the Chun Yun, or the spring travel.
I would love to experience 15 days in China during that whole thing to get a real good scope of like how everybody's living their life for that 15 days. Because that is just like, oh my gosh, I don't even know.
There is there is an old song that
we don't have anything like that in America. All of ours are one-day celebrations with the exception of Christmas, which is the night before and the day of.
The 12 days of Christmas.
The 12 days of Christmas.
Yeah.
I thought that was just a song. Is there some like pagan ties to that? Or...
Well, you know what? It's not Christmas time.
You're right. I'm sorry. I'm bunny trailing it. I'm sorry.
That is a good question. We'll have to research that later.
Well, we'll talk about that.
Because you have Hanukkah and...
But even Hanukkah doesn't...
And there's a couple days.
But Hanukkah doesn't originate from America. Like, that's brought over. You know, and that's more religious than it is, like, a cultural festival. Am I wrong?
Well, I mean, I think, where did this one come from?
I think the closest thing that Americans get to cultural festivals is, I was just kind of like, these are just popping up in my brain right now.
These are good questions.
Like, because if you look at it, we have week-long music festivals.
I mean, there are gods celebrated on the 15 days, so I'm going to say it's
a day to each god.
Yeah.
Of sorts, but you get to celebrate all 15 days anyway, and it doesn't matter which day. Okay, I can get behind that. It makes a lot of sense. So then that might be more religious and cultural in a sense, or at least has religious roots, if you will. I don't know. It's fascinating.
Yeah, because it is celebrated across China, and there are different celebrations for each day, and each region celebrates it a little bit differently.
Okay.
There are some practices that people partake in each day, and even... because it is a 15-day long festival, some people only celebrate to like the 6th day.
Yeah, I'd burn out so hard after 3. 6 days.
Like even here, from some of the people in little bits that I've heard of the Chinese New Year, I've only known it to be celebrated just the day of.
But at one point in time, they had all 15 days.
They still do.
Tried and true.
To this day.
I mean,
well, but yeah. You know.
I got you.
I don't know. I don't know that many people that celebrate it like that.
I don't either. I don't know anybody that celebrates the
I've
Chinese
been in
New
Montana
Year.
for
I
most
guess
of my
that's not
life.
true. I know a couple people. Very few and far between.
Have to ask them.
Yeah.
And I have to ask my husband to ask the people that he knows, because I know he knows some people who might still celebrate this. Anyways, so for the 15 days, day number 1, most people do vegetarian dishes to purify and cleanse their body, mind, and soul.
Oh, I love
on the
this.
first day of the Lunar New Year, it would be celebrated in such a way they would cook vegetarian dishes. On the first day, most people will visit their oldest family members and visit temples. And if you can think of like New Year traditions, some of these practices you may have heard of and probably derive from this, like no sweeping and no cleaning, because it will sweep away the good luck. So on the first day of the Chinese New Year, there is no sweeping and no cleaning.
It does sound very familiar.
And it is the birthday of the chicken. And I'm guessing it probably comes from their calendar, like the year of the
rooster.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it is the birthday of the chicken. So on the second day of the Chinese New Year, the married daughters will visit her parents, with her husband and her kids. And it is the birthday of the dog. On the third day, there's a saying that it is easy to argue on the third day. So most people will avoid visiting people. And
that came from some
third time's a charm.
Son-in-law that was like, all right, guys, we got to get a grip on this. I don't want to visit family every day. Give me day 3.
Well, there's something around 3 because It continues on, and it could have something to do with visiting in-laws. You never know. Could look into that a little bit more. Some say that rats get married on the third day, so you're supposed to leave rice in the kitchen, and the rats will leave you alone for the rest of the year.
Ooh.
And it is the birthday of the pig on the third day. On the fourth day, you are honoring the god of the chicken, or the kitchen.
God of the kitchen.
The god of the kitchen. So it is believed that 5 or 6 days before the Lunar New Year, the god of the kitchen will go up and visit heaven and report back on how your family is doing, and then come back and visit you on the 4th day. And he will return to your family and watch over you. And they are leaving food and wine as offerings. And the god of the kitchen will bless your kitchen, and you will not have any accidents for the rest of the year.
No burnt food.
An accident-free kitchen.
That would be nice.
And it is the birthday of the sheep. On the 5th day, they're honoring the god of wealth. You are supposed to not leave your house for very long because the god of wealth should be visiting you on that day. So most people will
want to be present for that.
Want to be present. They'll not want to make long trips. So most people are staying home on the 5th day. You are doing lots of cleaning, and you are lighting firecrackers on the 5th day to break the bad luck. We're getting rid of it. So I think there's some symbolism in the fire.
The explosive.
Keep seeing it all over.
The direct, displacement of energy.
And we are visiting friends and classmates if we do visit anybody on the 5th day. And it is the birthday of the ox. On the 6th day, and some people stop celebrating on the 6th day. This is the first time in looking at all the days and what people do that it says that some people stop celebrating this. On the 6th day, they're visiting temples, relatives, and friends, and the god that visits you is the god of bathrooms.
Okay.
So people are cleaning their bathrooms so that they are impressing the god. And on the 6th day, we're throwing away bad clothes and ratty clothes, things that we don't need, and getting rid of those gets rid of the ghost of poverty.
Oh, I love that. Oh my gosh, that is totally a poverty mindset. I could go on days about that, though. We won't go down that rabbit hole. I'll leave that one alone.
I've heard some of these practices as New Year's practices that people do.
Huh.
And it was funny researching this and recognizing that.
It's fascinating.
On the 7th day, some will mix 7 types of vegetables in a soup, and some will eat just raw fish. And that act will bring blessings in finance and business. Some people will eat noodles, and they are invoking blessings of longevity. Some people will eat congee. Yeah, I think that's the only way I can pronounce that. Congee.
Or congee.
Congee, made of lean pork, liver, or kidney, and that brings blessings in academics.
That sounds like a fancy word for paste.
Congee. I think that's probably the proper pronunciation.
I wonder if it's got to be like a cookie. I don't know. I'm gonna look it up now. We're learning all sorts of things, guys.
Did I say that there was an old song that goes along with preparing for the Lantern Festival at the end of the Chinese New Year?
No.
Yeah. There is a Nuwa legend that says that the 7th day is the birthday of man, so it is technically everybody's birthday.
Oh, I like that. They said kanji or kangi, I don't know. I didn't ask for pronunciation, guys. I just wanted to know what it was. It's Chinese porridge by simmering rice in lots of water until it breaks down and thickens. And that is it. Everything else is just like spice.
With lean pork, liver, or kidney in it.
But you can put a lot of different things in here from the looks of it. I'm kind of interested in knowing what that's like.
I always love trying new recipes, new foods.
It's just the sound of the consistency is a little, like, I don't know, 50-50.
If it was cold, I would have an issue, but the fact that it's warm.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Well, when I think of porridge, I think of warm porridge.
That's Goldilocks very true.
And the 3 Bears.
You're right.
The cold porridge was only for the baby. Everybody else ate it hot.
Eating hot.
So on day 8, some say that the activity should be done. This is the second time it says some people will stop celebrating after day 7. You are supposed to finish eating all the rest of your leftover New Year food that you had made. The legend says that this day you get visits from gods and goddesses. Mm-hmm. Some release their pets back into the wild to show respect for nature. And legend says that the creation of the 5 grains that we use was on the 8th day.
I'm kind of curious as to different gods and goddesses in Chinese culture. Huh. The 8th
We could do something on that in the future.
Just gods and goddesses in general. We could,
around the world.
We could dedicate a whole month and a half to that.
Well, depending on which region, there are multitudes of gods.
That's what I'm saying. I just found out recently there's over 251 angels that you can call upon to help you do your things. And I was like, what?
I don't even know the names of that many angels.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, how? But, spanning all the different...
Or if you've watched anime and all the different gods and goddesses and... like the gods of the bathroom.
That one? That's kind of mind-blowing. That feels like a reach to me, but, to each his own. I guess...
The god of the kitchen?
We all have to do our business, and we all have to cook and eat, so why would there be something that's something?
Or how they came to being.
I want to know how the toilet god came to be. Was he a master squatter?
Well, on... oh, goodness. Am I going to say it beforehand? No, I think it is Day 9 is dedicated to the birthday of the Jade Emperor, aka the god of all heavens. And there, I can't remember if it's a day. But somewhere I saw that the Jade Emperor became one of the gods.
Okay, he was like human. He's okay, so he's like Jesus.
Yeah,
maybe we don't know. We
I
have
don't
to look
know.
more into
On
that.
when we go further into that, we'll know.
Yeah.
But the Jade Emperor, aka the god of all heavens.
That's pretty cool.
The Jade Emperor, the god of all heavens. I've heard of the Jade Emperor, but I don't know a lot about the Jade Emperor.
And I've heard God of all heavens as a term, but I have never seen anything tied to it other than it's just like a title of sorts. So
right?
That's
We're all
cool
learning
to see
stuff today.
ties.
Some people on the 9th day will bring fragrant flowers and candles to pools and rivers to pray to the gods.
Sorry.
What?
I love the woman times. I mean Roman times. Oh, that was good. Gosh, I'm full of bunny trails today. I am sorry, lady. This has got to be frustrating. Let me just pull you off topic every 3 seconds.
We're just
Making
going
it my
along,
personal
man.
mission, I swear. Jeez.
That's what we're here for, is to banter, Brayden.
Yeah.
Remember?
Sometimes.
We are practicing letting things go with the flow.
Yeah. You know, sometimes I gotta rein it in.
It's been a week, guys. It's been a week.
Mm-hmm.
On day 10 is the birthday of Mother Earth.
Mother Earth.
So there are many, many festivals with meals and candies on this day. The Chinese character for 10 has the same pronunciation as the Chinese character for rock.
Okay.
So it is also known to be the birthday of
The Rock.
Rock
Johnson. Oh.
Just Rock.
Just Rock.
I would have to go
Broccoli.
further into these birthdays to figure out what they are. I'm not sure if it's the creation of Ox or...
Okay.
I will link those notes. You know what? I'll find out
some
of these answers later, and I'll post them in the notes.
That sounds ambitious.
Yep.
All right.
Well, I have questions, and I don't have answers for them.
You're not
so
wrong. I mean,
I'm going to find them. What is the birthday of the rock?
What is the birthday of the rock?
Because I gave my kids a pet rock when they were little.
Which rock? A rock? Any rock? The rock? Is there a specific rock? Is it like a gem?
I went all out on getting my kids a pet rock.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. You want to know what I did?
What'd you do?
We'll bunny trail this, okay? I got my kids a pet rock for Rock Day. Not for Rock Day, but I did it. So I went out and I got a little cute little glass jar, and I went to a rock store and I found these little pebbles of no particular anything. They were just little pebbles, and somebody had put little wire legs on them and then glued some little eyes on them and a little bit of tuft of something.
That's so stinking
So
cute.
it was a little creature rock made out of rock. And I put them with moss at the bottom, and I put these little rocks in there. And then I had, there were these tiny little jewel looking things. And I got a couple different colors for each kid, a different color for each kid. And I told the kids that was the food for the rock. And it would slowly grow bigger. So they would put these little tiny gems inside, and they'd close the lid, and they'd put it up. And I was like, you can't watch them. They're really shy. And then when they'd go to school, I'd go in and I'd slowly take it out. And that was the rock eating it. And I did this for a long time. And
teaching your kids patience in a whole new way.
Trying to.
I love it.
One of my kids overfed it and put a bunch because he wanted it to grow fast. And I was like, careful, you're going to hurt it. You don't want it to overeat. And he knocked his jar over or something, and it broke one of the legs. And he's like, oh no, I fed it too much and it's sick. You're right. Don't put so much in. You gotta take care of them. Yeah. So my kids had a pet rock. It was great.
Oh, that's awesome.
Eventually, I forgot about it, and
my kids are growing a terrarium, and they looked at me last week. They're like, "Dad, my grass is dying." I was like, "Kiddo, it got to be like this long. Like grass doesn't last forever." Dad, you got to do your part and help me water this thing while we're not here. I was like, it's grass in a terrarium. Once a week is plenty. She goes, Also, it just doesn't last long. I was like, I don't think it does. She goes, oh, that's a bummer. But now that I'm having this conversation, I'm realizing I have those seeds. So we can just rip those out and start over, and we can have this whole process happen again. And maybe I can water it and make myself. I don't know. Maybe I am lying.
Well, is this one of? Aren't they supposed to like self-regulate if you keep the lid on? Then the humidity.
You would think that, right?
There.
But like this thing came with holes in the top of the lid, so I think the concept was just it was there, but they didn't execute it fully, and then they're just sending them out to kids because it's like it's whatever. Parents don't want to hold on to these things forever anyway, and then the kids get to interact with it, so they open up the lid and they spritz it. It's the garden spritzer.
I keep seeing this guy who has a booth about making terrariums at all, like a lot of the art walk events around Billings.
It would be really fun.
But yeah, he has a whole thing where he helps you build a terrarium thingamabob, and you put the lid on, and it's not supposed to open. It just they grow and
it's
and little microorganisms appear. And
I had a friend who did that with fish tanks. He had a way to give them a complete ecosystem, so you never had to change or filter out the water or clean the fish tank. Like it was all self-sustaining. So
I've seen those. Yeah, super awesome. Birthday or rock, man.
Birthday or
pet rock terrariums.
That's where we're at.
You could put a pet rock inside your kids' terrarium.
Oh my gosh.
This would be fun. You
got too many glitter
You could
stickers.
pawn it off on their mom. I bet she'd love that.
No.
She might get a kick.
It's still sitting in my bedroom or kids' room.
Oh, okay.
It's a here plant.
Okay. Oh, so you're
That's
pawning
why
it off on you.
That's why I gotta. Yeah, that's why I've gotta.
Okay.
Do my part and water the plant when they're not here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
What do you do?
I don't know, but day 11 is dedicated to visiting the parents of the married daughter.
Oh my gosh! I wonder why they stopped.
The parents of the married daughter invite the son-in-law and then the wife and kids back over. So
come back over.
They're hosting both times
because
you're going to visit the parents, and then the parents are inviting you over.
Okay.
The son-in-law over. Some people take day 11 to make offerings to Zigu, who is to be the guardian angel for women.
Oh, hey, I found one of the 251 angels. Zigu.
Do you know that name?
I don't know that name. I'm just saying, like, it's a guardian angel. It's an angel.
Fair enough.
You can't get that many Aziel names.
Aziel. Zigu.
You've got Ezekiel, and you've got Gabriel, and you've got, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
There are only so many variations that you can get, and it's definitely not 251. I mean, I could be wrong. So I guess what I'm saying is it's got to come from other pantheons. Yeah. Anyway, sidetracking, but yeah, I bet you that's in the 251s.
Zigu, the guardian angel for women. Day 12. Most people start preparing for the Lantern Festival because of the old song, and I will find out if I can find the lyrics to the old Lantern Festival preparation song. But the song breaks down the days and what you're supposed to do each day leading up to the festival, which is pretty freaking cool.
That's like the only way you could ever make anybody remember the 15 days without having it written down.
Right? To collectively get everybody together and
you're
do the
dealing
same
with
thing.
So many kids. You're like, y'all are going to learn this song, so
and
I don't have to keep
passing it on in
myself.
A song form.
Yep. Some lady got smart. She's like, we'll just make this a song.
Yeah. So the old song talks about each day of the Lantern Festival, and day 12 is setting up the structures to host the decorations. Some designate day 12 for son-in-law to pay respects to the wife's ancestors.
That would be wild. I'm gonna go visit.
There's lots of celebrating the wife.
Graves.
The wife's parents, the son-in-law, and he's paying respects to the wife's
dead people.
Ancestors. Day 13, according to the old song, says that you are supposed to be putting up the lighting decorations. And some say that the 13th day, Emperor Guan became a god. That's the emperor that became a god. Emperor Guan became a god on the 13th day.
I wonder how he achieved that. Like, I would like to know more of that story, I guess, is what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Damn, we are.
Notes.
Yeah, we definitely have to come back and touch on all these.
On the 13th day, some regions call it the Day of Light Bulbs, and people will put lights up in the kitchen by the stove, or turn the light on by the stove.
Got you.
On the 14th day, the old song says that
you light up your decorations.
That you light up the decorations.
Yeah. So the 13th day, you're putting them up. The 13th day,
so we're lighting the decorations the day before the Lantern Festival. I'm reading my notes. The 14th day is dedicated to visiting different temples and various activities like the Dragon and Lion Dance. I bet that is a beautiful dance. Full of colors.
Practice the choreograph for that. And like, are you chosen to be a part of that group? Or can anybody just jump in and be a part of the Dragon and Lion Dance?
Offerings to the goddess of Lin Shui.
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
She's believed to protect women from dying in childbirth.
That's cool.
And then day 15 is the Lantern Festival. And in order to get your lantern, some places will have you solve a riddle before you can get your lantern.
Oh my gosh, I'd be there forever. I take them too literally.
And it's also known as one of the Chinese Valentine's Days. Back in the day, when women weren't allowed to leave the house unescorted, the Lantern Festival was somewhere that
they could get
lots of people would gather.
Notes. I got you.
And you would see lots of other people. It was a day to mingle.
It was a cultural mixer.
There you go. Yeah. The 15 days of the Lantern Festival.
That's intense.
The Spring Festival. The Chinese New Year.
What a way to like roll in the new year.
And another tradition was you place a small item like a coin or a jujube inside of a dumpling. And as you're eating dumplings, whoever gets the dumpling that has the coin or the jujube in it, it would bring them financial luck in the coming year.
That would be fun. Everybody be horking down dumplings left, right, and sideways trying to get their hand on the one.
Or maybe there is a certain time where everybody can eat the dumplings. You're not allowed to eat the dumplings until...
We've got grandma pointing it out to the grandchild.
I know, right? I was thinking about that. I'd probably mark that dumpling special, and then I'd place it out there, and I'd know that that's the dumpling. Who else did that? Was anybody thinking that when they were making the dumplings? Or I can't eat that plate of dumplings because I made them. So you'd have to eat a different plate.
Yeah, who knows?
I would be that person. I would mark it.
Even if I didn't want to know, I would know. You know, I'd be keeping track. All right, we're going to mix this around. I'm not going to look, but I'm going to look. I'm not going to look.
So we will move into South Asia from here. And one of the differences between South Asia and East Asia is the Himalayan mountains.
Sorry.
The Himalayan mountains block the cold air from coming down, so it's warmer in South Asia, and there is a lot more rainfall.
Okay.
So because of the Himalayan mountains and the geography, there's more of a monsoon region.
So then they got more of the tropical plants and whatnot going on?
Probably. That was one of the other things. Ooh.
What's the topography of India look like?
India?
That's what I'm looking at.
That was the difference between one of the differences between East Asia and Southeast Asia or South Asia was the blossoms. In East Asia, you have more cherry blossoms, and in South Asia, you have the pear blossoms and other blossoms. If I remember, I'll look those up too. But the Himalayan mountains is really what changes the seasonal feeling between East Asia and South Asia. In India, you have the Holi festival, or it is also known as the Festival of Colors. I'm sure you have seen stuff. I know I've seen stuff, and I've seen it advertised.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
I can't think of.
India's got it all. They've got the snow-capped mountains, and they've got plains and plateaus. They've got a tropical rainforest to the south. I don't think I've ever really understood what India looks like or thought about it. I've always just assumed deserts. More desert-ish, more desert-like.
I love documentaries. And there's so many documentaries about India.
Really?
And the nature, the animals. Yeah, oh my gosh, it's beautiful, 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 beautiful.
So it's a vast
the elephants.
To check out. Ooh,
beautiful,
I love that.
Beautiful. But I'm curious about the bugs.
Yeah, that's always been like the hard part.
As beautiful as it looks, if it's that warm, there's probably some bugs.
I feel really fortunate living in Montana.
That I wouldn't be used to.
We don't have to deal with a lot of that here.
But the Festival of Colors, I can't think of what I'm thinking of, but I swear I've seen like races or.
Have you seen the guys that are getting blasted in the face with a bunch of different colors?
Yes, but I swear here in the United States they do other things like that.
That's super cool. I so want to blast somebody in the face with paint or with colored powder or get blasted. I don't care.
And I keep thinking of like marathon runs or like
powdered paint. How fun!
Oh, the Spartan races are muddy. I swear there's I'm associate most people getting blasted in the face with races. Until I saw this, there's an actual Festival of Colors, a celebration where this originated from. Back in the day, it was made with natural dyes and pigments, and a lot of the powders used today are a skin irritant. So if you go to any of these festivals today, be careful. And don't wear your best clothes or purposely wear white so that it gets stained with different colors for that festival.
So much fun too.
Huge celebration in India.
The Festival
for
of Colors,
spring.
Love and Spring.
And it's celebrated on the last full moon of the lunar month of Falguna, which is usually in March. Okay. I did find that one. And the night before, most people will light bonfires to say goodbye to winter.
Yes, I love that idea. They're like kicking winter out, bringing spring in, celebrating life, celebrating new connections. They're letting go of old energies, bad conflicts between family members and friends. It's like a time to start fresh and new. And I love
coming out of hibernation with a big old bonfire.
Well, and just not taking old energy into the new year. I really, that one, it hit me super hard. That was like, wow, so smart. Let it all go. You got different things you got to work towards this year. They're not last year's things.
I really appreciated that too. I thought that was beautiful that the night before they light a big old bonfire, and then in the morning there's a big old Festival of Colors.
And it's like, so how kid-like, how to it really re-engages that inner child to just go out, be fancy free for a bit. And everybody's in the same mentality, Kind of like snowball fights. At one point in time, anybody and everybody was down for a snowball fight. Now you're just like, am I going to piss them off? Could we actually get away with having a snowball fight?
It's cold. I'm going to be wet. It's going to get in my neck.
Yeah, all of those adult things that we think as we grow older.
So when they light the bonfires, most people will celebrate with the bonfires, and they'll be visiting temples, or the bonfires will be around temples, and it is a time for singing and dancing and festivities. Lots of music.
Dancing and festivities.
During the festival, people are preparing a dumpling-like sauce that's filled with dry fruit, nuts, and cardamom.
Cardamom is a very powerful flavor. A little goes a long way.
See into my notes, Braden.
Well, I don't have much more past that. They have talked about this being a sacred tradition among the Hindus. It ties back to 17th century. The one thing I really like that I can leave us off on is, and yes, I did pull this off of Wiki. And no, I can't remember it, so I have to bring it back to us. But the story of Radha and Krishna, and how Krishna is this being that's white as snow. She's got very fair skin, and Radha does not. He's darker skin tone, and he's always worried about what she's going to think of him based on his skin color. And his mom gets fed up with it and is like, why don't you just ask her to go put her favorite color all over you? Then it doesn't matter. And that was like the story that sparked the whole colors Festival of Colors, and why it represents love, springs, new beginnings, and relationships.
That is where we should be left off right now.
Ole! But yeah, I did it.
See, there's that table fell.
Every time.
That's okay.
No, that's all I got. I just really liked that.
Spring around the world.
Holi celebration.
We have more to touch on with Asia, but we will see where we go from here. We haven't even picked where we're going to go from here, but we're going around the world.
We did all this to lead up to St. Patty's Day.
Yeah.
So
no, the spring equinox.
Oh, the spring equinox.
The spring equinox.
Yeah, that's right.
Leading up to the spring equinox.
That's right.
Because the spring equinox is on a Thursday, so we'll have a live before the spring equinox.
Yeah, and then, man, I can't wait to see where we jump off from there.
I know, right?
I feel like this is kind of like the filler episodes of an anime before the big thing happens, you know? We just got done talking about emotions and all those other things and how to get yourself into a good spot, you know, and then spring is like jumping forward and stepping into action. So this is like the soft lull, and like while we are getting our stuff done, like, all right, guys, we're just going to give you some entertainment, some food for thought, and then we're going to really hit it hard when we come back.
Picking that was so that we would be able to take notes beforehand instead of having to figure out what we're going to talk about on Wednesday.
Which I did not. I dropped the ball on that end.
Well, we were busy. We were real busy, you know. Big things happened. Whitney turned Esoteric Nexus into a business, and it is officially known and registered as Esoteric Liminal Horizons.
And I am in the process of getting my stuff done to do the same.
I've got the website finished. I've got it.
I just got to do it. I just got to sit down and build the website. I don't know why. I know it's not great, especially for how simple it looks now in comparison to what the website program used to look like. I don't know why I'm putting it off. It just needs to get done.
When it gets done. See, the idea is slowly going to turn into a bigger business eventually. We'll continue adding on, and eventually I'll be going to school to get my counseling license, and that'll be a 7-year-long process just to get my master's. So along the way, keep doing what we do, and I did it. I got it registered, and it's worth celebrating, but like, it's overwhelming. And then all the things that I want to do. Oh, I'm so excited, guys. And it really feels like this is like everything moves along with what's happening. Even with the seasons. Like, came out of winter, came into January with goals, and it's springtime and things are happening, springing forward, growing.
And then all of summer is the doing.
I know.
I'm excited. Summer is like sets the tone for the rest of the year.
Where will we be at summertime? How much momentum will I have at summertime? What'll this look like come summer?
Yeah.
I would like to plan a summer event, and it's probably looking at
the summer solstice.
Maybe the summer solstice, maybe August, maybe early September. I still want it to be warm, but
that'd be fun.
We're not going to go overboard, and we're not going to overwhelm I'm not going to go overboard and overwhelm myself. I would like to have a summer event. I'm manifesting because it will be there. If it doesn't, that's okay. It wasn't meant to happen, right?
All things in their own time and place.
Yes.
Yep.
But today is Wednesday. And because it was so busy and we were trying to work everything out, and tomorrow is book club, guys. Any of you reading The Fourth Wing or who has read The Fourth Wing should join us tomorrow for a discussion.
Book club. Ooh. It'll be through Zoom.
It'll be through Zoom. And I've only read a couple chapters, so tomorrow through the day I'm going to be listening and catching up. I know some of you have already read The Fourth Wing, and some of you might be real deep into The Fourth Wing and maybe already on to the next book. But tomorrow's book club, we had planned to drop the workshop video today. We are doing some last minute editing and finishing it up, so by Friday it'll be up and on the website for sure.
Yep.
Super exciting. But other than that, I think that's all I have for you guys today.
That's all I
Tomorrow's
got.
book club. The workshop will be posted before the end of the week or by Friday. I feel like I'm missing something.
I don't know. I feel like we normally have a more fluid end to our thing. Like we roll out our speech, we have a couple of ha-has, and then we're like, all right, guys, now we're just going to let you go while we're still laughing. And I feel like we kind of missed that window of opportunity.
I didn't want to forget all the announcements.
Oh, agreed. No, definitely 100%. Not saying like we overtalked, but now we're at like
tomorrow's book club.
We're at that spot now. We're like, okay, I guess we're either on repeat or
7 p.m.
We say goodbye, guys.
Yeah.
We're saying goodbye.
Have a good rest of your Wednesday.
And the rest of your week.
Yeah.
Show up tomorrow, and if not tomorrow, show up next Wednesday. It was fun having you on.
As we continue across the world, celebrating spring.
Yes. Until next time.
Night.
Bye.